Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on monthly policy review which is released by PRS Legislative Research, and I'll be discussing MPR by the PRS for the month of December 2022. So PRS is an important document that help you at both stages of examination, either it is prelims or mains. It contribute a lot in terms of content enrichment. And before I proceed, a brief about the PRS Legislative Research. This is an independent research initiative founded in 2005. The aim of the PRS is to strengthen the legislative process. It assesses the member of parliament and member of legislative assembly to provide them the legislative functioning details, and it is based in New Delhi. For more details, you can refer to their website as well. And before I proceed with this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. So starting the session with the first article or the first news, that is draft bill to protect Geo Heritage sites and Geo Relics. Something important precisely for prelims examination, because many a times a direct question is associated with this kind of topic, which is again important. So we'll see the importance of the draft bill and what is the rationale of this bill. The Ministry of Mines has recently released the draft Geo Heritage Site and Geo Relics Preservation and Maintenance Bill 2022. And the ministry has noted that in absence of a legislation for protection of a Geo Heritage site, they are threatened with destructions due to decay, population pressures, changing in social and economic conditions. तो ये कुछ important parameters बताए गए हैं. These were the factors that were mostly reliable for the part of the basically अगर बात करें जियो हेरिटेज साइट्स की, उनके प्रोटेक्शंस को ध्यान में देखते हुए ये सारी चीजें फैक्टर्स थी, जिस वजह से मिनिस्ट्री ने इसे एक लीगल बैकिंग दी. एंड नाउ इट विल इंश्योर दैट देयर इज अ प्रॉपर कंजर्वेशन, मेंटेनेंस एंड प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ द जियो हेरिटेज साइट्स. Now, some of the key features of this draft bill, which will again be important for both stages of examination, be it as prelims examination or mains examination, the features are very much relevant. Now, declaration of Geo Heritage sites की अगर बात करें, now the central government may declare a site as a Geo Heritage site as a national importance, and Geo Heritage site must contain features of geographical significance such as Geo Relics and natural rock sculptures. What is Geo Relics? They are movable relics such as fossil and meteorites. तो अगर categorizations की बात करें तो fossil और meteorites को Geo Relics के categories में रखते हैं. Right? This can again be an example purposes. Now, talking about India's World Heritage, Cultural and Natural Site, these are precisely a map. You can take a screenshot. Some of the important part is again important for like both here. We have the temple, then Khajuraho temple is also there in place in Khajuraho. A lot more temple that is there. It's a part of the World Heritage, Cultural and Natural Site. So these sites are very much important for the prelims examination. Their states, the particular cities where they are located will precisely be important for the examination purposes. Now, protection of Geo Heritage sites की अगर बात करें, the draft bill empower the central government to acquire, preserve, maintain Geo Heritage sites, and the Director General of Geological Survey of India, this is also known as GSI, has been given the power for this purpose, such as surveying and excavations. The construction on this site is prohibited. No kind of construction activities will be allowed. So this is again an important point to be noted. The construction activities is completely prohibited. However, it may authorize by the Director General to preserve the site or to repair structure that predates that declare particular sites. Now, protection of Geo Relics की अगर बात करें, the central government may declare the Geo Relics cannot be moved from its side by notifications unless permitted by the Director General. To have any sort of the changes and even the change in the place, a permission from the DG level office is required. And Director General may direct the acquisition of a Geo Relic to protect it. So these are some of the provisions that has been incorporated by the ministry to ensure for the proper preservation and maintenance of Geo Relics and geotagging sites. Now, offences and penalty की भी बात की गई है. Offences under the bill include: first is upon the destruction or misuse of a geo heritage site. Second is any kind of illegal construction will be called for penalties and will be the part of the offences, and damaging or illegal moving of a geo relic. So these are some of the important part of the penalties. These are the factors that will call for penalties, right? And these offences are punishable with the fine up to 5 lakh rupees and imprisonment up to 6 months or both. The Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana Rule 2022, again very significant, and this is specifically important for all the government scheme that is relevant for the examinations, specifically for the civil services and many other government examinations. Recently, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has notified Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana under the National Food Security Act. तो अगर बात की जाए प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना की, this will be under the part of NFS, right? तो National Food Security Act के थ्रू से implement करने की बात की गई है. This will replace इंदिरा गांधी मातृत्व सहयोग योजना 2016. The Rule 2022 provide a framework for existing maternity benefits to the eligible beneficiaries. Now, what are the key features under this bill? First, eligibility की बात की गई है. Eligibility for the maternity benefits. Under Rule 2016, every pregnant woman and lactating mother of age 19 years and above are entitled for the maternity benefit. As per the rule, the criteria is to identify eligible beneficiaries, including women who belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, who are partly disabled, 40%, are the holder of BPL card and E-Shram card and Manrega job card, are beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and have net family income less than 8 lakh rupees per annum. So they will be the part of the schemes. Maternity benefit will be given to all eligible pregnant and lactating mother after the registration process is completed. The pregnant and lactating mothers employed in the central government, state government or public sector undertaking will not be entitled to take part of this benefit. This is an important point to be noted. कोई भी ऐसी mother who is already the part of the state, either from the central government or the state government, will not be entitled to get the benefit out of it. Now, registration of beneficiaries की अगर बात करें, so first there is an आंगनवाड़ी center set up upon the integrated child development services जहाँ पे registration must होगी. यहाँ पे जाके आप करवा सके registration, and approved health facilities of the family and welfare department respective of the state government or union territories. So these are specified under the rule. So beneficiaries must register themselves among the mentioned below part, and online at their own can also be part of the registration process that can be completed. So there are 3 options that is provided for the registration of the beneficiaries. कंडीशंस की अगर बात करें, कंडीशंस टू रिसीव मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट, क्या क्या ऐसे कंडीशंस गवर्नमेंट ने मेंशन किए हुए हैं, उसी कंडीशंस पे ही मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट्स दी जाएंगी. सो एज पर द रूल, द बेनिफिशियरी विल रिसीव 5,000 rupees on birth and of the first child and 6,000 rupees on the birth of the second child, right? And that is if a girl is a second जो होगी वो बच्चे, अगर child the gender of the child is female, is a girl, then only they will be eligible, right? The maternity benefit for the first living child shall be provided in 2 installments. Register the pregnancy and goes for at least 1 antenatal checkup within 6 months for her last menstrual cycle. So these are some of the criteria, conditions upon which the beneficiary will be getting the advantages. The second installment will be payable on the registration of the childbirth, with receiving with all dues of the vaccine till age of 14. An incentive on the birth of the second child will be paid in a single installment on registration at birth, the child receiving all due vaccines till the age of 14 weeks. So if you want to read about more brief, you can take a screenshot of this. Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, the part of the amount is 6,000 rupees, over 26 lakh beneficiaries has been there. 440 crore rupees has been released, 17.4 lakh beneficiaries has been there, right? So these are some of the minute details that will help you in the examination specifically. The Jan Viswas Amendment Provision Bill 2022. Now, the Lok Sabha has introduced Jan Viswas Amendment of the Provision Bill 2022 in December. It amended 42 acts to reduce the compliance burden of an individual beneficiaries and ensure ease of doing business. So some of the acts that are amended under the bill include the Indian Post Act 1898, Environment Protection Act 1986, Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, and Information Technology Act 2000. The bill, although has been referred to the Parliamentary Committee for further scrutiny. Now, some of the key features under the bill. First, talking about the decriminalization of certain offences under the bill, several offences within the imprisonment term in certain act has been decriminalized by imposing only a monetary penalty. तो बहुत सारे जो ऐसी पहले offences थी जिनको criminalize किया जाता था by imprisonment, now there will be only the monetary part that will be involved, right? For example, agriculture produce like Grading and Marketing Act 1937, counterfeiting grading designated market was punishable with imprisonment of 3 years. This has been basically इसको replace कर दी गई है. The bill replaced with the penalty of 1 lakh rupees. Now, under the Information Act 2000, disclosing personal information in the breach of lawful contract is a punishable offence with imprisonment of 3 years and a fine up to 5 lakh rupees. So, bill replaced this penalty up to 25 lakh rupees. So, the amount has been increased and the imprisonment has been removed or carved out. Now, in certain acts, offences has been decriminalized by imposing penalty instead of a fine. So, under the Patent Act 1970, a person selling a falsely represented item or article that is patented is subject to fine up to 1 lakh rupees. So, the government has increased the penal amount and has exempted the imprisonment part. The bill replaced the fine and the penalty, and this will be up to 10 lakh rupees. So 10 lakh तक की जो amount है वो उससे penalty के तौर पे ली जाएगी. Now, revisions of the fine and penalties. The bill increased the fine penalty of the various offences in a specified act. Further, these fines and penalties will be increased by 10%. So there will be surged by 10% and minimum amount every 3 years. Multi-State Cooperative Society Amendment Bill 2022. Recently, the Multi-State Cooperative Society Bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. This is again important because that will be giving strengthening to the cooperative society. It amended Multi-State Cooperative Society Act of 2002, and 35 multi-state cooperative society operate in more than one state, right? So the bill will subsequently refer to the JPC, that is the Joint Parliamentary Committee, for further scrutiny. Some of the key features of this bill, like elections of the board member under the act. The election of the board of the multi-state cooperative society will be conducted by the existing board. और इस बिल ने amend किया है, specify किया है that central government will establish the cooperative election authority. This will be known as CEA, right? And this will conduct the election, supervise, direct and control the preparedness of electoral roll, perform and other prescribe the functions of the details. The authorities will consist of chairperson, vice chairperson, up to 3 members to be appointed by the central government on recommendations of the select committee. Now there's a redressal of the complaint. It's very important that a grievance has to be addressed. As per the bill, the central government will appoint one or more cooperative ombudsmen with their territorial jurisdiction, right? So this will be the part that will be there. And the ombudsman shall inquire the complaints made by the members, and even regarding the society, this include with their regard to deposit, equitable beneficiaries, society functioning, issues of affected and individual rights member. The ombudsman shall complete the process of inquiry and adjudication within 3 months of the receipt of the complaint. तो जो भी complaint आएगी उसे 3 months के अंदर तक ही उसे resolve करने की बात कही गई है, right? And if the appeal is not directed, basically it's not being resolved, it has to be filed to the online ombudsman, and this will be there like within a month span, 1 महीने के अंदर उसे complete करने की बात कही गई है, right? Amalgamation of cooperative society. The act provide the amalgamation of the division of multi-state cooperative society तो amalgamation से भी advantages होंगे. It can be done by passing a resolutions at General Assembly, and even 2/3 of the members of the present at the voting will be considered. The bill allowed the cooperative societies to merge into existing multi-state cooperative society, and at least 2/3 of the member of the cooperative society present in the voting must pass the resolution for such a merger. So this is how the entire process of amalgamation of the cooperative society will take place. कमिटी ऑन कंपटीशन, जो competitions की बिल की बात की जाए, the part of the amendment bill that was actually passed and some of the recommendations that was given by the committee on competition amendment bill. The Standing Committee on Finance has recently submitted its report on the Competition Amendment Bill 2022. The bill seeks to amend the Competition Act of 2000. The bill act to establish the Competition Commission of India, right? This is called CCI, for regulating of the market competitions. Some observations and recommendations by the committee. First, there's a deal with the value threshold. The act prohibit any person or enterprises from entering into any combinations which may cause an appreciable value or effect of the competitions. तो किसी भी तरह से कोई एसेट की वैल्यू जो कि मार्केट के सेंटिमेंट्स को, इवन कॉम्पिटिशन्स को खत्म करती हो, उस तरह की चीजों को प्रोहिबिट किया जाएगा. The regulations imply first that is the merger, second acquisitions, and third is amalgamation of the enterprises. The prohibitions apply based on certain threshold on cumulative assets and cumulative turnover. The bill expand the definitions of the combinations to include transactions with above 2000 crore value. The committee recommended that the bill should provide for the manner in which the calculations of the transaction value to be determined by the regulation. So everything will be the part that will be taken care by the concerned authority, and they will decide upon the transaction value as well. Time limit for approval of the combinations. क्या time limit है? Within that time limit, this has to be done. The bill proposed to reduce the timeline of the Competition Commission of India to pass an order approval of the combination within 21 days to 150 days. So this is the timeline at which they has to pass it. It also seeks to fix the timeline of 20 days of the Competition Commission of India to form a prima facie opinion on whether the combination would cause a appreciable adverse impact on the competitions. The committee observes that the proposed timeline will be put undue on the burden of the Competition Commission of India. It recommends against the existing timeline, right? RBI revised regulatory framework for urban cooperative banks. The Reserve Bank of India has revised the regulatory framework for the urban cooperative banks, and the RBI has introduced a 4-tier regulatory framework for the urban cooperative banks. Earlier, the one UCB include bank with a single branch, and the bank having multi branches in the single district can deposit up to 100 crore rupees. So this value might be important for prelims examination, although a direct question sometimes is framed by the UPSC. All banks, that is UCBs, are classified under tier 2 cities. Now, despite the revised framework, there are additional select UCB that will be categorized under the financially sound and well managed if they fully criteria under 19 of this. First is the capital adequacy of at least 1 percentage point higher than the prescribed minimum. The net non-performing asset ratio should be not more than 3%. This is the threshold. And net profit at 3 presiding for the 4 years. So these are some of the technical criteria. You not need to know about the precise detail, but आपको थोड़ा basic पता होना चाहिए. Now, strengthening the investor grievances redressal mechanism. So the Security and Exchange Board of India has released a consultation paper on issuing the online dispute resolution mechanism for complaint resolutions in the security market. अगर प्रोसेस की बात करें, प्रोसेस फॉर resolving the dispute, currently the market infrastructure institutions have a 3-step process for resolving the dispute. First is with regards to the mediations conciliations by the investor grievance redressal committee. Second है arbitrations. Second is the arbitration, and third is the arbitration appeal. So these are the three steps upon which the grievances will be taken care of. The SEBI, that is the Security and Exchange Board of India, has noted its scope to make grievance redressal more efficient and accessible. MMI, that is the microfinancial institution or market infrastructure institutions, now be required to conduct the dispute resolution proceeding online. So the process will have to take care online mode. This proposal has been driven based on the report of an internal working group. Now, some of the key features of this. First is the hybrid approach of mediations. Mediations में किस तरह से hybrid approach को भी ला करके this the part is the main aim is to expedite the process. So as SEBI has noted that the market infrastructure institutions administer online mediation conciliation enable them a cost saving of the parties involved. The SEBI has proposed that the investors should also have the options to participate physically if they are not comfortable with online proceedings. This would address the concern of digital divide such as low internet speed and low digital literacy. Now, the panel of mediations की अगर बात करें या mediators की बात करें, who will be actual people who will be mediating the problems. So, Investor Grievance Redressal Committee is constituted by the market infrastructure institutions mediating conciliating the dispute between the two parties. Basically, what happened in mediation, this is the out of the court settlement where two parties, suppose 1A or 1B, right? So they are the part of that, and the mediation is how take place between two, and they agreed upon mediators that this is the resolution that we're looking forward with. The SEBI has proposed the rename of the committee as a panel of mediators, right? And the dispute should resolve within 21 days against the current time limit of 15 days. So this time limit has further been augmented by 21. The dispute is not resolved within the proposed time, it will be referred to an online arbitrators. Arbitrations की अगर बात करें, in the market infrastructure institution, administration arbitration for the matter can involve a claim up to 25 lakh rupees in a single arbitrator that is appointed. For claim greater than 25 lakh rupees, a panel of 3 arbitrators is appointed. The SEBI has proposed to do away with the requirement of more than one arbitrator irrespective of their claim amount. Now, this measure is expedited to reduce the cost of parties and ease coordination issues in forming a panel, ensure availability of arbitrators for other cases as well. Right? Appellate arbitrations की अगर बात करें, currently the party aggregated by the arbitrators what can file an appeal with an appellate panel of arbitrators, and the appellate panel has 3 arbitrations who are different from one passed with the initial award. The SEBI has proposed to discontinue the part of the appellate arbitration system, right? So they are revamping on the part that how a better arbitrations can be provided so that the resolution is there within the stipulated time with a desired result. Now, Digital Health Incentive Scheme. This is the part of the digital mission, Ayushman Bharat Health Mission. In order to promote Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, the National Health Authority has announced Digital Health Initiative Scheme, and this aims to provide citizens to have their health record stored digitally in a consolidated database to facilitate easier access whenever medical treatment is required. Under the scheme, the incentives will be provided to eligible health facilities, and health solution is based on the number of health record as they create like Ayushman Bharat health account. Now, this number is uniquely identified with the person medical record, and hospital diagnostic lab facilities are eligible for this scheme. Under the scheme, monthly threshold जो है number of transitions की is upon the hospital and diagnostic facilities. For example, 20 RS20 per transition will be the base and 50 per bed will be charged, right? The diagnostic facilities and lab are subject to the 500 ABH link transition per month, which will be receiving 15 rupees per additional transition. The maximum incentive for the healthcare facility can receive under the scheme is up to 4 crore rupees. And the estimated initial financial outlay for the scheme is 50 crore rupees. Now, BH series vehicle registration rule has been amended, and this will call for uniformity of a number pan-India. Now, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway has amended the Central Motor Vehicle Rule 1989 under the Motor Vehicle Act of 1988. The 1989 rule provides for registration of all motor vehicles. Under the rule, non-transport vehicles with Bharat series registration mark will be allowed with a number plate that is valid across the country, and person eligible for BH registration include the government employee, the private employees whose officer are in at least 4 स्टेट. तो जिनकी ऑफिसेज या 4 स्टेट्स में है उस तरह से एलिजिबल रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोवाइड की जाएंगी, एंड इवन दीज एम्प्लॉय will also be the part of government and private employees. Some key features. Transition of BH registration की अगर बात करें, the amendment specified that if the BH registered vehicle is transferred to a person eligible for BH registration, the registration will remain valid. However, if other person is not eligible, they will be required to obtain a new registration, and a number plate with specific number such as MH or TN regulation can be there. The series are different. The vehicle will be liable for motor vehicle tax as per the state rule. तो ये जो applicability है tax की वो state rule के हिसाब से होगी. Additionally, if the owner have the BS series number, the vehicle owner cease to be eligible and the vehicle registration will remain valid for a period of which the tax will be paid. Applications for registration की अगर बात करें, the amendment add to an applications of the BS series registration may be noted, and that any registration authority in the state were specified with the vehicle owners and permanently residing or it works. So this is the BH series registration for the on the voluntary basis who can apply. The government employee like defense center, state government, public sector bank, employees for private sector with offices in more than 4 states because they need to travel state to other. Individual purchasing a new transport vehicles only. Now, Amrit Bharat Station Scheme. The Ministry of Railway has announced Amrit Bharat Station Scheme for modernizing railway station. The scheme will provide for introductions of a new amenities as well as upgradation and replacement for existing amenities in selected station. It will be based on the master planning for long term. The element of the master plan will be implemented on a need basis. Broadly अगर बात करें, scope of this will include improving the station's approaches by widening the road and removal of unwanted structure, relocating railway offices at accessible location with release of space for passengers, and future development of the path will be there. Creating good quality waiting rooms, improving drainage of the platform areas, building space for executive lounges and businesses meeting, creating a roof plaza and city center at the station in the longer run. So this is how the entire infrastructure development process of Indian Railway Station will take place under this scheme, right? And this was all about for this month of PRS. We have a lot more other initiatives for you like daily news and editorial analysis, which I combined from the Hindu and Indian Express. This is a brilliant analysis part which will help you to get an in-depth about a specific news, and you don't need to get a lot of stuffs while you read. So we'll be filtering out the most relevant news. IS Gazette magazine you can download it from website. FC is released on fortnight every month. Basically एक month में 2 fortnight release होती है every fortnight. PIB I've already will be published very soon. MPR this is one, and the gist of Yojana and Kurukshetra for the month of December has been uploaded in our website. To do check it out, our website पे check करें, जितने playlist हैं you will find that, and these all initiative will help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, you can let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.